Yes, I think we'll be going live shortly. Right. Well, I'll start the. Yes, very good. Excellent. Abi, welcome to the welcome to this conversation, Abi. Tell us who you are for the listeners who don't know you.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Levin. I'm Abi Hatta. I'm acting managing director of TTC. Been working here for over 20 years now. This is great to be doing this, actually. So it's a new thing for me. So it'll be exciting what we can talk about and what we can find out.
Right. And thank you for agreeing to come on to the show
Okay.
at a short notice.
No worries.
Like you said, we've been working together for over 20 years now.
Yes, yeah.
And it's interesting. Well, by the way, I'm Levent Yıldızgören. I am the Chief Revenue Officer for TTC Translate. And as I'm writing my book, which is kind of finalizing, Abi, you kindly stepped into the managing director role, and I'd like to thank you for this greatly. Today's talk, I titled it as Talking Localization.
Yes.
What is one thing that is coming across to you interesting when you hear from other people from outside our industry?
It's a good question. It's really that they don't realize what we do, what we can offer. It can often come across that we just do translations. You source to your target. It's never as simple as that. And obviously, they don't understand or realize the solutions we can provide, and how if we were involved in their process much earlier on, we can have a bigger impact on their project to save them time, cost, so that is definitely something that when I do speak to people outside of the industry, they just say, oh, wow, we didn't realize you did that. And that's obviously a common phrase I hear quite a lot.
What you just said actually resonates with me as well. And it's quite amazing that how many people that I come across didn't even know that the translation company exists.
Yes.
Yes. When we talk between ourselves or from our other industry professionals, we talk the same language, we know all about what we do, but outside is not that like this at all. So you really mentioned something very that I've been coming across a lot, and especially in networking meetings, when somebody says, look, what do you do? And I used to say, I work for a translation company. And often they responsible with transformation, they will be just, it wouldn't make sense to them.
Yes.
So now I stopped saying that a few years ago. I say, well, what we do is we work with companies, businesses who would like to expand globally.
Yes.
We help them to get their websites or marketing brochures localized into the languages that they want to trade with.
Mm-hmm.
We say, wow, that's interesting.
Yes.
Yes. So it's suddenly, looking at it from an outsider's point of view, made it kind of interesting that initially it's a bit of a shock. How comes you don't know what translation industry
Yes, exactly.
is about?
Yes, exactly. I mean, we can often get an inquiry, a simple email. Can you translate this into French? Can you tell me how much? We can do that, but often it's better to have often Zoom calls now, of course, rather than face-to-face meetings to find out what they're actually trying to achieve. And often we can find a better solution rather than just translate it into French. Let's work out what's your long-term goal. How can we really be part of it, kind of thing, and to find out. And they'll often be like, wow, that's impressive. Once we've actually sat down and spoken with a client, it's like, wow, okay, you can really be part of our team rather than just an end provider to just get a tick box to get a translation done.
Yeah. Do you also get like reactions such as, well, you're asking all these questions, all I want is a quick quotation?
Yes, of course.
Do you get that as well?
We do get that, yes. And it can be frustrating because we really want to dig a bit deeper to find out, and we know we can help them more than just giving them a price. So it can be frustrating.
How do we frame this? Because again, we work together, we've been working together, we have the same challenges. So when a client or potential client at the other end of the line is rushing the conversation, you know that you can help them. But what do you do, or what should we do to bring the conversation to a level that, well, dear potential customer, if you give me a bit more information, maybe I could help you and save you money as well. So how do we do this?
There's lots of different ways, I guess. Sometimes it can be the person who's just asking for a price, it's just on a price, is actually not the person who the project's going to be for. It's not the decision maker. They've just been told to get a price for this document. But we often find if we can speak to the person who's actually managing the project, we can kind of convince them that it's worth giving us answers to our questions, so we can really help them, in a better way. But it is difficult. Sometimes you just have to give a cost. If there's no movement, you just have to give a cost. Unfortunately.
Yeah. I mean, that's very interesting.
Yeah.
Because if the other party is very time limited or has got very specific instructions, then I can understand from their point of view that they don't have much to talk about, because they have specific instructions. So I suppose we have to respect that and say, well, here's the price. If you want more information, and then please come back to me. What is interesting is like, I mean, there's nothing wrong with not knowing about our industry. I totally get that. And also, it's our job to explain what we do. But sometimes I come across examples that I feel like, well, we could have really saved you a lot of time here. Once a potential customer, extracted all the text from a desktop publishing program, put it into a Word file, send it to us for a quotation. And I mean, they did a lot of work. They must have spent hours. And now the question was, I extracted all this text from, I think it was InDesign or something, into Word file. Can you please give me a cost? And then as soon as I looked at it, I said, well, now they have to put it all back into InDesign.
Yes.
So obviously I had to tell him that actually we have a tool that extracts all that text for you. And not only that, it also puts it back into InDesign, saves you all this time putting it back and forth.
Yes.
Also, it's accurate because there's no human error.
Yes.
And it is. Have you come across anything like that?
Yeah, I think just because the client's already done that, they've already spent their time before they've even sent it to us. They've spent their time. They might have spent a couple of hours doing that, so we can't undo that time for them. Yeah. But I always feel if we're part of our client's project plan from the beginning, rather than just having A to B and then realizing, oh, actually we need a translation. If we're part of the plan right from the beginning, then we can really save them time. It's unfortunate when it's already happened.
I suppose it's our job to make ourselves relevant to our customers. Mm-hmm. So a potential customer, if they heard about us or know about us, then they'll say, how about this? If we have to really, it's our job to pass those informations to our potential customers. So when I come across this type of scenarios, I blame myself, because really me or any other industry professional did not have a chance to explain them that we could have saved them hours of work and also more accurate.
Yeah.
Similar when it comes to website localization or website translation. Yeah. As it happens, I'll be unashamedly plugging a promotion here. We're doing a webinar at 4:00 this afternoon about how to go global using your website. And same with websites. We come across a lot of scenarios where customers extracting, copy and pasting text from their websites for translation purposes. Again, we have tools for that.
Exactly.
We can even do, we can even automate that process. Mm-hmm. And that webinar is about talking about the benefits of a website, using a website to go global, and
Yes.
looking at some examples of how some companies are doing it.
Yeah, I guess people from the title of the webinar and that it's being done by someone from a translation company might just assume that the webinar is all about translation of your website. But actually, it's not, is it? I mean, it gives many hints and tips on best ways to use your website. Rather, so it's not just talking about translation; it's actually different benefits.
I mean, we have to accept the fact that translation is something, a requirement for a customer when they see the benefit in doing that, because it's an extra cost. And why would you translate your website? So the webinar is about that part, the reasons, and also pushing a potential customer to question, do I need that website translated?
Yes.
Because we have, and I'm saying, I'm sure a lot of my industry professionals will share the same sentiment as we do, that we don't want to waste anybody's money.
Yeah.
And when we get inquiries, give me a quotation to translate this website into 5 languages. Now, a lot of companies' websites are built over the years, contain a lot of data, content, pages. And when I receive an inquiry like this, my first question is, there must be thousands of words in that website.
Yes.
I wonder if that client really needs all that content into those 5 languages.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, we want it to be effective for them. And that's why we talk more about micro websites and certain pages of the website to be translated. So we want it to have the best benefit and get the best value from it.
Yeah. I mean, you mentioned micro websites. Big brands are using it to their, if they are testing a market, they never go full out with their website. They just create a micro website or even landing pages just to test the market, to see what sort of reaction they'll get to their product, to their service offer, and in that country, what sort of reaction they will get. They never, I mean, don't get me wrong, they are very willing to make adaptations and necessary modifications for their products. I mean, why else would Dunkin' Donuts create a seaweed donut for China?
Yes.
So they are changing their product to suit the local taste. I mean, who has the right to say this donut is better than that donut? It's all about the taste. And big global brands, what I realized that they don't actually question this. What they say, dear customer, what is your preference?
Yes.
But isn't that right? I mean, isn't that what we're supposed to do, really?
Exactly, we should do. Exactly. So so that's at 4 o'clock today, isn't it, the webinar? 4 p.m. UK time. So how would people register for that?
Good question. That's on my LinkedIn profile.
Okay, good.
I think we posted one this afternoon. Actually, I'll post right after this meeting.
Yes, great. Okay.
Once the conversation finishes. Yeah, they can register. It'll take like 30 minutes, 35 minutes. And it's all about relevant information that I gathered working with dozens of customers. Because, I mean, we run a business. We don't want to waste our money because, it's not easy to earn money, So we don't want any company to waste their money unnecessarily.
Yes, exactly.
If you spend something, I believe our company can do it with a newer website. And really, I need to justify that cost to our team. Why are we going to spend that money for the website? So what will be the benefits? And if there are no benefits, I'm sure my colleagues will say, look, actually, why are we going to waste that money? So I think we are more than willing to start that process with our customers or potential customers.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. So I know, Levent, you've been busy, really busy the last few months, and you mentioned it briefly at the beginning of the live, that you've been working on a book. Do you want to tell us a bit more about that?
Yeah, I'd love to. I'd love to. Yes, I mean, you know, writing a book has been my has been on the agenda for me for the last 3 years, and actually,
I think it's been longer actually, Levin.
maybe
You've
longer,
spoken about
maybe-
it longer than that. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, in 2018, I started writing it, but other things got in the way, and
Yes.
I had to sort of park it. And but now, the 3 months ago, you guys, my colleagues, I'm grateful to all of you for that. I was excused from the day-to-day running of the business and started writing, and I'm pleased to say I finished my manuscript. It's gone to beta readers, and I'm getting really useful feedback. So yeah, it is.
What's the title of the book? What's the title of the book?
Oh yeah, thanks for asking me. I've got excited. So yeah, well, it is called a good business in any language. Basically, that's what I've noticed from the global brands. If you go to Lego website in Korea, or go to Apple store in China or Germany or UK, it's the same Apple store, same Lego, same. You know, if you go to one of the famous brands, Chanel, or you know, it's the same experience, same customer service. So you know, and they do good business in any country, in any language. And I believe that any size of business can achieve that.
Yes.
You don't have to be a huge global brand with millions of pounds of revenue behind you. Any size of company can attain a good business in any language. So yeah, that's the book about. And
so maybe our next live, you'll have a copy of it in your hand. You can
yes, I
show
can't
everyone.
wait.
I hope.
I can't wait for this. You know, hold it in my hand. Well, actually, they say that the most exciting time is like when you receive that brown box with your author copies, and you unbox it and take it out. Yeah, so I can't wait for that moment. I'm kind
very
of
exciting.
having dreams about it. So yeah.
Yes. And I'm sure you'll be telling everyone on LinkedIn when it's published.
Oh yes,
when they can get a copy. Yeah.
Probably people will maybe fed up hearing about this, but you know, it will be for not same story mentioned over and over and over again. The book contains a lot of case studies, a lot of tips and tricks that basically it's a non-fiction book, so it is for a purpose, and I believe it will serve a purpose.
Excellent. Look forward to it.
Thank you, Abby. Well, we said 15 minutes. We've done 19, and I really enjoyed our conversation, Abby. Maybe we should do this regularly.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea. And we can talk about what's coming up, what TTC's been working on, exciting things that are happening. That'll be good.
Excellent. Yeah. Well, I really enjoyed our conversation.
Okay, nice to talk.
Have a great day.
Thanks, Levin. You too. Bye. Bye.